Well, it's not like any of us had any doubt
Yeah.
that the family was important to Pope Francis, right? With the Extraordinary Synod and then the World Meeting and then the Ordinary Synod. We know that that's a priority for Pope Francis. And I'll tell you, we had a consultant in from the Vatican, and I was having dinner with him, and he said, "You Americans are confused by Pope Francis, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." I mean, I wasn't really sure what he meant, but I think maybe like all the media coverage and stuff that he keeps hearing. And I was like, yeah, I guess. And he said, "Well, what you guys forget is that Pope Francis is a pastor. Like, you think of him as the Pope. He's a pastor, and he's about directly ministering to families and individuals." And you know, when he said that, I thought like, oh, you're so right. You know, like we'll like have these sweeping headlines about like this, you know, comment that he made and how does that impact doctrine and that kind of stuff. And he's really about meeting people where they are, right? Meeting the needs apparent in the moment. And so we have so many needs for our families right now and in our societies around family. And really, when you look at the core, you know, kind of what is happening in the world and in our societies, it comes from the family. That's our first school of love, right, is our family. So Pope Francis highlighting this is not a surprise, and participating in this is definitely not a surprise, and totally in line with what Pope Francis has been doing. We're glad because it's, you know, helping draw attention to this, but also because Pope Francis brings with Pope Francis a special kind of magic. And so when we're talking about transforming families and communities and individuals too, as individuals begin to realize what God is calling them to, you know, to grow in relationship with God and each other, bringing Pope Francis in can only add to the magic.